type of a subject, but it does have to do with the Philippines. And it has to do with an article that I'm going to read you from Phil Star, Philstar, and I will leave the link for that article in the description box. And what it is the people that are in charge of transportation in the Philippines wish to upgrade their systems, including the regulations for the jeepneys. Now, some of the things that are going to be in the article are that the newer jeepneys that I've ridden on, or they're like a little bus, they have a higher clearance for height, so you can walk through them. But I kind of like the old jeepneys, but I think they're going to phase them out no matter. But for sure, what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that there are certain mechanical things that are correct with the jeepneys. Now, I don't know what that means. I would imagine one of the things would be tires, or the tread depth on tires, but I don't know that to be true. And I would imagine that the vehicles will be checked to have their blinkers and their lights, tail lights, front lights, to be in working condition. It says that they're going to bring them up. They're going to modernize them to bring them up to par. So now, I personally enjoy riding on a jeepney for a lot of different reasons. I just like the atmosphere of a jeepney. It doesn't bother me at all that there's 30 or 40 people on there. It doesn't bother me that the people have their children and they're all talking. They all say hello to one another. Pretty much most of them know each other. That doesn't bother me one bit. Now, and the fact that you have to bend over to get to the front or the back of the jeepney, that's okay too. There's not going to be, or there is not at this time, a difference in the price of riding the jeepney. In other words, no matter whether you take a modern minibus from Tagbilaran City or the ICM Mall, a minibus and a jeepney, a minibus, you can stand up in it. Typically, the minibuses have very thick, cushiony seats. Sometimes they have music, sometimes not. But they're the same price. So I will take either one, of course. But in the article, you're going to see that a lot of the people that run these jeepneys and have been working really hard to make a living, especially after the lockdown, where they regulated them. On a jeepney that I have a video coming out on, there were 33 people, 33 souls on a jeepney, and that included the driver and the conductor. But at the time of the lockdown, you only allowed 14 people on the whole of the vehicle. So that cut their income in half. I don't know how the subsidies work with the government. I know they're all part of a coalition, so to speak, whereas if one breaks down, I've only been on one jeepney one time that broke down in 8 years. So, but if it did break, when it did break down, it was on a bridge, and 20 minutes later, there was another jeepney to pick up the passengers. So they have a good system. The current jeepneys have a good system to get things done. And in the article, I'll put the article up there now. Let's get the phase out of the jeepney deadline has been extended. So what they originally wanted was by June 30th to phase out the jeepneys unless they were upgraded. Okay, so let's read this a little bit. Now, one of the things that they do talk about is that the Jeepney drivers, after coming from 2 years, 2.5 years of the lockdown, simply don't have the money to upgrade to a mini bus. They can, in all likelihood, upgrade the Jeepneys to make the lights and the blinkers work, tires, stuff like that. But they may not have the money to buy a new bus. So the government has moved the deadline for the phase out of the Jeepneys to the end of the year from June 30th. But this is a nationwide program, so it's not going to be like one island is going to be allowed to have Jeepneys and one will not. It's nationwide. Now, there were threats of a strike, but when I spoke with Jeepney drivers, they did not know anything about it, nor were they going to participate. So now I don't know if they will or will not, but if they were to go on strike, and this was in the Manila area, so that's when I ask people about Jeepneys, it's in the Bohol area. So these are the people that want to have the operations extended until December. And then this is the part about the deadline. I'm going to leave the link in the description box. See, here it says, to be honest, there is no pressure for us to strike. More than 90% of the transport groups have signified support for the LTFRB. The decision to extend the deadline was made by certain peoples in the government. So they extended this so that there's no real reason to worry about it now, but it was June 30th, and now they've extended it to December. That gives the Jeepney drivers 6 more months to negotiate something. Now, in the title, I said there's... Me personally, I have to tell you what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to ask all the people to just upgrade the Jeepneys to make the lights work, but I could be wrong. Because to put a burden of buying a new vehicle on a Jeepney driver or the conductor, to me it seems like a big burden. I don't know how much money they make. I have no idea about that. I know that they run a pretty efficient operation. So that's why I said take lots of pictures. Now, there are places, there's a Jeepney depot in Cebu. If you want to go take pictures, there's probably about 150 Jeepneys in the downstairs of a building in Cebu, a Jeepney terminal. And now they have some really nice Jeepneys to take pictures of. So that would be a place to take pictures. And there may be something like that in Manila. Bohol, we just have some outside parking lots, and we don't have fancy Jeepneys like they have in Cebu or Manila. But I have a few pictures. But if you're a photographer, videographer, and you want to document this, you should probably get to taking those pictures, because the government may just decide to ask them to buy new Jeepneys, and then the old Jeepneys, whatever they do with them, they do with them. So I'll give you the link for this article here now. I could see none of you people are interested. My views went down to 1 viewer. This affects you a lot more than you think, because if they decide to phase this out, anybody that uses Jeepneys, maybe the price of a Jeepney will double from $1 to $2, and that's a big, serious burden on Jeepney riders. For instance, if you have, let's see if we can get to this. If you have, we need to get over to here to my channel. If you are a regular worker in a mall and you make $1 an hour, well, you are going to be at risk to pay as much as whatever they're asking, and you won't have an option because most people can't afford a car or a motorcycle, nor do they want one. But let's just say that they make somebody buy a $35,000 vehicle instead of the Jeepney that's been running for 10 years. Somebody buy a $35,000 vehicle. Well, then those people that make $1 an hour, if they double the price, if they only double the price and that's how it usually works. It goes up in increments. If they only double the price, now they work for, if it's $1 an hour now for a worker in a mall, if it's $1 per hour, and that's one hour of their wages, it is 1 hour of their wages. What if they double it? So going to work, the average mall worker will pay $1 or 1 hour's wages. Coming back, $1 or 1 hour's wages. So that's 2 hours' wages. That's $2. And then that's 2 hours that they worked that day only to pay for transportation. That's a little bit steep for, a mom or a young man or young woman that have children. That's 20% of their wages goes to transportation only. Don't forget they have to pay for lunch, and they have to clean their clothes, and they have to buy shoes, and they have to buy uniforms or pay for the cleaning of their uniforms. That's a pretty big burden on, as it is now, it's a pretty big burden. $2 of their salary now is 20%. But what if they had to pay double? What if the new Jeepneys decide to charge double once they implement that? Now they'll pay $4 a day. And that's possible. Because if you have to make up a $35,000 payment and loss, investment loss, well, then the people have to pay out of their pocket from their salary. I don't know if that's what it's going to be, but even if it just goes up 50%, now you'll be paying $3 a day or 30% of your salary. So that's the story with the Jeepneys in the Philippines. Well, I want to put that link. I'm going to put the link in the video details for the PhilStar article. And then if you want to come back and review that, you can do that. Now, there's one other thing I want to talk about. I saw a video about saving money by buying some used items. Now, so I went and priced out some of the items that were in the video, and I discovered that this month, I don't know what it is about March, but March is Shopee is having super sales. I mean, unheard of sales on various items. So this, for instance, a brand new 3,500 watt generator is $101. $101 new. Now, you wouldn't be able to run, you will not be able to run a refrigerator. You might be able to run a small refrigerator with this, but you will not be able to run an air conditioner. This generator is the same one that I have, but a different, this is diesel, I have gas. same 3500 watt combination. It will not start my refrigerator, even if there's just one light bulb on. Without one light bulb being on and the generator running at full throttle, and you plug it in, you might get the refrigerator to kick in. However, it's not giving full power to the compressor, and if you run the generator for too long with the refrigerator not getting what it needs, the compressor motor will eventually burn out, maybe in 1/3 of its normal lifetime. So this generator is good for lights, computers, gadgets, charging cell phones, things like that. You could charge a battery to your car if the battery charger was the only item on the line out, but you cannot charge a battery and try to start your refrigerator or have lights on in the house and turn your refrigerator on. No, that won't work for that. That's just a heads up there. But they do have an unbelievable sale on generators. Now, there's hundreds of generators that are on sale. Now, the one that I really wanted to show you was during the lockdown. I'm not going to find it. During the lockdown and during Hurricane Cyclone Odette, they had I'd be talking out of my ear if I tell you what it is. Let's take a look. Let's just look on Shopee for gen sets, okay? I forgot generators. Okay. Generators, silencer, just let's look up generators, period. There was a diesel generator that I saw this morning on Shopee for 44,000 pesos. That's a good price because during the lockdown, that same diesel generator was 75,000 pesos. So it's about a little bit more than half price. I'm looking for that now. So here are the generators that are on sale on Shopee. Okay, so there's pages, many pages of them. I'm looking for that one. It's a big white unit. I don't see it now. Well, 1,200. No, that's not it. Okay, well, let's see. Well, that unit. Every time you go to Shopee, the page is different. You don't go to the same page twice. You never get to the same page twice. I don't know why they do it like that. Let's go to page 2. Well, anyway, there was a generator that was 20,000 watts, I think it was. But I'm not real sure. And that was 75,000 pesos during the blackout. And that same generator now is only 44,000 pesos. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go to diesel generators. Let's go to diesel because that one was a diesel generator. Okay, now we got it now. Okay, so here's a diesel generator that's 5,000 watts for only 3,000 pesos. That one may very well, it's possible to start your refrigerator with a 5,000 watt generator. It's possible. Not highly probable. If you have a big refrigerator, it will not start the compressor. Here is the one I was looking for. This Fujimoto diesel generator was this make, this generator, this gen set The cheapest one, let's see, 85,000. Let's take a look at this Greenfield. Let's take a look at the Greenfield. Either way, these are all diesel generators. Okay. It went from 85,000 pesos down to 60,000 pesos. That's a $500 price reduction. And this one, I'm waiting for the page to generate. This one was 25,000 pesos less. This Fujimoto, this is the one they had at the store where I bought my generator. And the Fujimoto was 75,000 pesos. So that went down 31,000 pesos, or $600 less. Now, this is a big generator. Okay, this is a big generator. Don't make any mistake about it. Two men might be able to pick that up. Two men can move it for sure. It's on wheels. Okay, this is a 5,000. Okay, so this is a 5,000 watt. This is not what you would want. It's only 5,000 watt. It's diesel and it has 16-liter capacity. No, that's not what you want. You want to have 20,000 watts. So you'd have to look on this. I'll leave the link. Well, I already have the link in the description box, but I'll put it in again. So that's my show for today. I just wanted to let you know that I've never seen prices this cheap for generators. And I paid for my 3,500 watt generator, I paid 12,000 pesos, $240. You got a 30. Hey, Hillbilly in the Philippines, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm not going to go through every price, but if it's a Greenfield, I don't know if a Greenfield is a good one. It looks good though. It's green, right? It does pretty good. Can you run an air conditioner and a refrigerator from your Greenfield? And that's going to be it for me for today. I have some guests coming over for whatever. I have some guests coming over. I need to be out of here in a few minutes. I need to be dressed and ready to go. Where is the video? Video details. Okay, it'll be in my description box. Shopee Greenfield generators, and then you could look on that page and then see what you want to do there with that, if you want to do anything. So you can run an aircon and a refrigerator. Now, I'm not going to get involved with all of this at this point. Inverter type, they do use less power. So what you can do is subscribe to Hillbilly Philippines page and ask him all the questions you want. For me, I'm just letting you know that there are sales on Shopee and Lazada for gen sets that are 30, 25, 20% lower than they were a year ago. Thanks for watching. I have some people outside I need to go see. Bye-bye for now. And, of course, Amping Permi from the Philippines, baby. And Amping Permi means take care always. That's right. So look up Hillbilly in the Philippines' channel. And he's got a video of the generator on there. I got to go. I hear them outside. Bye-bye.